Good morning, ladies. Persistent pensioner here, and obviously waking up to the news of the Labour pledge of 50, was it 58, 56? I'm having a moment, sorry. Billion for us ladies. And today, despite this black clouds overhead, feels a little bit brighter for me, and I'll tell you why. It's gonna be a hard decision for us ladies, because I know you all have different views on who you should vote for and who you shouldn't. The majority of us think that Labour is the way we should be doing for our caring. I certainly do believe that we have a measured, fair-minded, consistent social policy in the hands of the Labour, as opposed to austerity, poverty and misery at the hands of the Conservatives. That's my personal view. It doesn't have to be yours, yeah? I don't want everybody getting on the bandwagon and shouting and bawling at each other because it's different. Everybody is entitled to their own view. But I think what we have now is a really, really big decision. But before I talk about that, I just want to say, you know what? We have done this. No one else. Every woman that shared a post, that's got onto their MP, that stood outside in the cold on the streets, that have spent any bit of money they've got on the train fares down to various protests at London, at Manchester, wherever, Blackburn, wherever they've been recently. These amazing, amazing women, which should include yourselves if you're listening to this, have refused to be cowed by this terrible Tory government, who has abused us by not even giving us the time of day, and to try to absolutely break our self-esteem and our pride and our strength in ignoring us and making us feel worthless. Well, we're not worthless. We knew that anyway. And right now, I think, today, even if it's only for a brief moment, celebrate this, because it is our power and our determination that has caused this to happen. This hasn't come about, and I'm not saying that the Labour Party hasn't got true, genuine feelings. Some of them are very passionate. Some of the other MPs from other parties have been very passionate in their support. But make no bones about it, the Twitter campaign, the protests, the relentless social media, the use of our vote, or the potential use of our vote, and the fact that we have refused to go away, the fact we stood outside Parliament a couple of weeks ago and we put those memorial ribbons along Parliament, demonstrated that we are not prepared to suffer this injustice, and we are not prepared to lie down and go away on it. And I think it is this relentlessness and this determination from us all that has won us this. And I think today, God, you should be so proud. We all should be so proud of ourselves. I'm absolutely elated that woman power has got, and the men that have backed us up, let's not forget them for a minute, yeah? And I remember Susan Birch's husband taking a picture of me, and the first time I ever found about it and turned up in London and didn't know all these women were protesting, I just went down there to protest for myself, with a completely incorrect figure on my banner, which I'm going to have to rectify. But you know what? Right now, going back to the subject of voting, it's a difficult decision, and you must vote with your conscience. I'm particularly swayed that we must vote Labour. If there is any chance in your constituency of a Labour person getting in, then it would, I think, be wise. And you don't have to agree with me here, and I don't want to set off a load of arguments again. As I said, this is not about who's right and who's wrong. This is about what I personally think, and I'm sure many of you do think the same. But it is your choice, but you must really, really look. If it's nothing else you do, is really, really look at who is the likeliest to get these Conservatives out. My main thought is that we must back Labour on this at all costs, really. If there's any chance of a Labour person getting in that constituency, we must back the Labour person. Don't be swayed by this Brexit hogwash that they're putting out. It's a deflection tactic because it's the only thing they've got. And they're relying on people to just blunder on like sheep and knee-jerk to this. And I'm hoping you've all got the common sense to know that this election is not about Brexit entirely. It's merely a small part of what we live in this country and what this experience of living in this country is at the moment. And if we don't get these Tories out, God help the future for our children. That's all I'm going to say. So right now, ladies, well done. I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled I could burst today. But just celebrate today because you have done this. No politician has done this. They've come on our side merely because of the tidal wave of pressure that we have exerted relentlessly for years. And I only found out when I was 59, and that was 2.5 years ago. And as you know, I've been pretty consistent since then. But, without that, if we'd have laid down and died and said, oh, well, this is what happens, blah, 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 we wouldn't be in this position today. So give yourself a fantastic pat on the back, girls and boys. Yeah, my husband included, and Susan Birch's husband, and all the other men I've seen there. Just well done to you all. I'm so thrilled. I'm going to shut up now because I'm overwhelmed. Bye.